Something interesting about the 4x4 system of a Mitsubishi Pajero Sport is that it is both a part-time 4x4 and a full-time 4x4. The system gives you both system in one. So in a previous video, we had looked at the full-time 4x4 system of a Toyota Prado, and we mentioned that the car drives on all four wheels with an open center diff. Then previous before that, we also looked at the full-time 4x4. Sorry, we looked at a part-time 4x4 system of a Toyota Hilux. So we mentioned that most of the time it drives in two-wheel mode with the rear wheels. And then when you get to rough terrain, you put it on 4 high, engaging the front wheels along with the rear wheels. Now this one here gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you both systems. So as you can see here, we've got 2H, we've got 4H, we've got 4HLC, we've got 4LLC. So 2H is your standard rear-wheel drive, running with just the two wheels at the back. That's your standard system in most part-time 4x4s. So you can activate this mode in Mitsubishi's 4x4 system. So this one here, I use it. Actually, I usually use this one here when I'm on the highway, on the tar. I also use it when I'm running around or when I'm running errands and stuff, just driving around the yard or short distances and driving on the highway if it's not raining. Now, where things get interesting when we switch it over to 4H. Now, this 4H here is not like the 4H that you'd find in a Navara or a Hilux or a Fortuna. It's not the same. It's actually the same as the 4H, same as the H4 that you'd find in the Toyota Prado. What that means is this 4H here, it's a four-wheel drive. It's actually all-wheel drive. It's all-wheel drive, and the car sends power to the front and to the back. I think it's a 60-40 split where 60% goes to the back and 40% goes to the front. I'll need to confirm that. But the beautiful thing about this mode is that the center diff is unlocked, so you can drive on this mode on dry tar. So I use this mode actually when I'm on gravel. I also use it on tar road as well. I use especially on the tar road when it is wet. I use it on a rainy day. In fact, I've been using it a lot this rainy season, driving on the highway, driving on the Mpumalanga highway, the Limpopo highway and stuff, and had no issues because the center diff is not locked. So it drives with the center diff open. And I also use this mode when I'm towing. When I'm towing a trailer as well, I'll use this mode because I feel like it gives the car extra grip and a little bit more safety as well. So when you come across corners, you have less of a chance of fishtailing. As I mentioned earlier, that also when I get to gravel, I switch to 4H if I wasn't there already. Now, if I'm doing like heavy off-roading and stuff, and I'm on like technical terrain and stuff, like I'm on places with like ruts and loose rocks and slippery surfaces, or there's like mud and stuff, I will switch it over to 4 high LC. So this is 4 high with locked center diff. So now here I lock the center diff. So when I switch it over, it will lock the center diff. When it locks the center diff, then now the power is split 50-50. 50% to the front and 50% to the back. And that just helps get the tires to pull me out of situations where it could get stuck. You can't get stuck with this mode over here because since the diff is open, as soon as one of your tires loses traction, all the power goes to the tire without traction, and that leads to the car getting stuck and not moving. But when it's this side here, same thing happens on 2H, but when it's on 4HLC, if any of the tires lose traction, the ones that have grip will continue to get the car out of the situation. So this one here is like H4 in a Hilux and 4H in a Navara. But in a Mitsubishi, it's called 4HLC. It's also called 4HLC in a Fiat fullback because that car's actually, though it's a Fiat, it's actually built in partnership with Mitsubishi, and they based it off the Triton. So yeah, so this is what I use when I'm doing heavy off-roading. And then sometimes I'll be going up and down hills. In fact, some of these 4x4 trails will have really steep hills. So when I'm going down and stuff, I'll put it on 4LLC. So that is 4 low with lock center diff. So that is more like I think of this as a gear that is lower than gear 1 because you get a lot of torque with this one here. So it's also important because what it helps with is if you're going down a hill and there's loose rocks and there's ruts and everything else, if you go too fast, you could damage your car. You could scratch your bumper. You could scratch your underbelly. So you need to be moving slow. So this one here gives you slow. In fact, we call it crawling. This will help you crawl through an obstacle. You'll crawl up a hill that is slippery, or you can even crawl down a hill that is like slippery and stuff, and you'll be able to clear courses at low speeds, helping you reduce the damage that you do should any of your body parts start to scratch. Because if you come at speed, yeah, you're gonna have to replace a bumper. Oh, and like one other beautiful thing about having this 2H as an option is that it is slightly lighter on fuel, and also it being on 2H is less. It reduces the wear and tear on your drivetrain. Yeah. But use this one because this one here is all-wheel drive. Actually, they should have called this 4A. Would have been nice to call it 4A. It would make more sense because this 4H is quite confusing. It will confuse people who are moving from Isuzu and people who are moving from Ford and people moving from Nissan coming to Mitsubishi. So yeah, so it would be nice if they had called this 4A because it is for all-wheel drive, which is behaving similarly to the all-wheel drive system with the open locked center diff of a Prado.